There we go. Hi. and hi everyone, and welcome to NXT. Gorilla Monsoon, Gorilla Monsoon, E. Lois, and the Jackal here. And today on NXT, we are going to see some good match here today on NXT. We don't know what that match is going to be, but we hope it's going to be a good match. Gorilla Monsoon says, wouldn't you say? And it's good to have you back on the play-by-play team again, Elois. Oh yes, Elois said I haven't been on the play-by-play team for some time, and the grounds to why I'm back on the team might shock you. It seems that Samoas, one of our good friends, always had to have a bind put in a stand. So we thought we'd get someone that didn't need to have to stand by a stand. It would make everything smoother. So in other words, since he had to have a stand to sit on, no one could be irked with the stand anymore. So that's why they got you here again, Jackal says, right? Yeah, I guess so. Will you start? Will you stop, Jackal? It's already our... Would you stop already? Gorilla Monsoon says. With that, saying, would you stop already, Jackal? Yeah. You know, Samoas, if it wasn't for him always having to put a stand out for him to stand on, they wouldn't have been done with him, the Jackal says. Oh yeah, and let me tell you something, Elois said, I'm not going to stand here and watch you scathe and slight and guilt and shame Samoas when he's not here to fight for himself. Yeah, Gorilla Monsoon says, it's not the time or the stead to start this. Well, I'm alright, Princess. Alright, Elderling Peach goes. I've been the TWF light heavyweight fighter for the 2th time. And since I have been the TWF light heavyweight fighter, I've had my dealings with this creep by the name of Austin Theory. And hopefully I can put that all behind me. So, so the way I look at it, so the way I look at it, I want to have an open dare for anyone who wants to go for my TWF light heavyweight winnings. The name not be Austin Theory. So if anyone else out there wants to fight me for the TWF light heavyweight winnings, by all means come out here if you want to do it. Well, it seems that Peach or Toadstool or whoever you want to call her, or Daisy, it seems that she is setting an open dare for anyone to go for the TWF light heavyweight winnings, Gorilla Monsoon says. And that's going to be cool. Who do you think's going to take who do you think's going to take Peach up on her open dare? Gorilla Monsoon says. Oh, I don't know, Elois says, someone who truly wants to be the TWF light heavyweight fighter. How about you, Elois? You're a small toy biz doll. You don't weigh that much. Won't you go out there and fight Peach or Toadstool or Daisy or whatever her name is? Oh, would you just stop it already, Samoa says, with your... Will you stop already, Elois says, putting me down? You know what? You keep saying things like that, Gorilla Monsoon said, and you'll be yesteryear on this show. Hey, it's Edward Collins. Well, it seems that I might not be the only... I'm not the only bloodsucker for soul around here. And yes, it's true, I was bought from the Vinlander Frith Middle back in 2020, YL. And since Toadstool or Peach or Daisy or whatever your name is, since you happen to be the TWF light heavyweight fighter, and I hope you hope you trust me and I take on my dare to become the TWF light heavyweight fighter. Well, alright. I was always looking forward to fighting a bloodsucker with a soul. I was always looking to fight the well-known, onlooked, and beloved Edward Collins from the Twilight books and films, and shows and plays and games. Well, I always thought it would be cool, to be in the same ring with the onlooked, beloved, and well-known elderling Peach, or Toaster, or Daisy from the Over Mario Brother film, games, and books and shows and plays. So, thank you. Well, this is for the TWF light heavyweight winnings. First, he is Edward Collins, and she is the TWF light heavyweight fighter, elderling Peach. Well, for once, Gorilla Monsoon says, for once we have a fight lord or a match keeper who won't fall down, and we can keep him in the ring. Yeah, that's Gerald Pickle, or whatever his name is, Jeremy Pickle. Jeremy Pickle, who's been in the TWF as a fight lord since 9/98 YL, Elois says. Oh yeah, he's been in the TWF on and off all those years, the Jackal says. And still no one really knows, no one really truly knows why he's got that weird look on his leer. Why they got 2 fingers up. Why did someone at Jax do that, the Jackal says. I tell you right now, Gorilla Monsoon said, why don't you stop it? Rolf Burns can't help the way he looks like. Alright? That's the way someone at Jax made him back in 9/98 YL. Or was it 9/97 YL? Alright? I tell you what, I could bring up how you got those weird looking glasses on, how you got that weird smile, and how your hands and legs, your hands and your 2 hands, and your feet, you're nothing more than Clarence Mason, but then someone had to paint you all black, and they had Clarence Mason's body sitter. It's true, Samoa says. It's true. The Jackal was just taken from the way they made Clarence Mason, and they just made the Jackal or Osiris doll out of him, Samoa says. Oh yeah, oh yeah, Elois. At least I'm bigger than you, and at least as a Jack's Pacific doll, Jack's doll, doesn't really need a stand like a Toy Biz doll does. And we're missing a good match right now, Gorilla Monsoon said, with you 2 fighting. I warned you, Jackal, or Osiris, or whatever you want to call yourself. You keep it up, you're yet to hear on this show. And now Edward Collins taking down Peach, or Daisy, or Toastal. Gorilla Monsoon said 1, 2, and only a kick out. And I want to know what kind of oversight you would have to have if you're in the ring with a bloodsucker with a soul, Gorilla Monsoon says. Well, I don't know, Samoa says. I don't know, Elois says, because there's very few bloodsuckers with souls who have been in the ring. I mean, Angel was in the ring, Spike was in the ring, Lestant was never in the ring. I mean, Sandy Blake was never in the ring, so Celine was never in the ring. Lord Nightwing was never in the ring. Elderling Kovac was never in the ring. And Vlad Dracula, well, he was in the ring sundry's times. Oh, and Edward Collins in the ring now, too. Well, yeah, and Nick St. Jones and Nick Knight were never in the ring either. And another body slam by Edward Collins. What kind of light heavyweight fighter would Edward Collins make? Well, I'd probably make Bella happy, I could tell you that. Samoa Elois says. She'd probably be happy with him being the TWF light heavyweight fighter. Well, if that's true and all, Gorilla Monsoon said, and more might to them. The Jackal says, I think Edward Collins would make a bad light heavyweight fighter. I think Jacob would make a greater light heavyweight fighter, but then we don't got his doll, do we? 1, 2, no we don't, only a kick out. No, we don't got Jacob Stahl. We could have gotten all the times that Game Again was open, and we passed it up, and now we can never get him. Edward Collins seems to be in a bind right now. Toaster or Daisy or Peach going down on Edward Collins. Why she got so many names? Gorilla Monsoon says. Well, first off, Elois said Peach was a Nintendo name, Daisy was the Disney name, and Toaster was the Deep name. That should help you keep in mind of how many names she's got and which one's her right name. Is my guess as good as mine. 1, 2, 3. Ding ding ding. Here is your winner, and still the TWF Light Heavyweight Fighter, Elderling Peach. Elderling Peach still is a TWF Light Heavyweight Fighter, and she's helped Edward Collins up to his feet. And Edward Collins has now raised her hand to show sportsmanship and onlook to her. So at the end of the day, Gorilla Monsoon says Elderling Peach is still the TWF Light Heavyweight Fighter. Gorilla Monsoon said, that's right, we saw Peach and Edward Collins have a great match here today on NXT here in the Toy Wrestling Gathering, and we think that was a great match that we saw. First off, the Jackal says, Peach should be either a Kaiserin or a Queen now. Why has she still been an Elderling this whole time? I never understood why she's still an Elderling. Why is she not a Queen or a Kaiserin now? I truly do not know, Gorilla Monsoon says, why she is still an Elderling instead of being a Queen or a Kaiserin. Why don't you go look that up, and you can tell us why that is. Well, Elois says, at the end of the day, I don't know why she's still an Elderling and not the Queen or the Kaiserin. It's your guess as good as mine. Well, we do know one thing. Renee Young now is now going to be talking with Elderling Peach. Alright, Gorilla Monsoon. I'm going to be talking with Elderling Peach here today on NXT. Still the TWF Light Heavyweight Fighter. Alright. Alright, Elderling Peach. You're still the TWF Light Heavyweight Fighter. Yes, I am, Renee Young. I'm still the TWF Light Heavyweight Fighter. And I know there's some folks out there that say, why we still have a light heavyweight? You should call them X-weights. Yeah, because we know that's what IW likes to call them. Anyway, at the end of the day, I know WWE's done away with the light heavyweight winnings again in 2021 YL. But it's no big deal. The TWF light heavyweight winnings has been around going back to Taka Michinoku and 9 between 98 YL. So, anyway, and I know that I had a match with Edward Collins, which is sometimes sometimes beloved, sometimes hated by folks, you know, for how he was written in the books, how he was show played in the films. But anyway, I just want to tell Edward Collins he was a good fighter, a good wrestler, and the first time I ever wrestled a bloodsucker with a soul. I don't know how Edward Collins or his kin kept their souls. Anyway, it is what it is. And if Edward Collins wants to have another match with me sometime down the street, then I'll give that to him. Alright, Elderling Peach, you had a great match here today on NXT with Edward Collins, and you're still the TWF Light Heavyweight Fighter. You think you're done with Austin Theory? I hope that I'm done with Austin Theory. I hope that I can put that dirtbag Austin Theory behind me and go on to more greater things. Well, that's my talk with Elderling Peach Back to you, Gorilla Monsoon. Well, thank you, Renee Young, for talking with Aldeling Peach here today on NXT. And it looks like it is all the time we got here for NXT. I, Gorilla Monsoon, E. Lois, and the Jackal. We hope you like NXT, and we'll see you tomorrow for Dynamite or Might.